Hey guys, Marcingan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And so with Global being a bit quiet at the moment, a bit quiet, bit of an overstatement, right? Quiet at the moment as we wait for content to drop on Wednesday. The Gotenks Super Easy A, we get a burst mode, new story event, the resurrection of F Revamp with the free-to-play Krillin, as well as the fact that Wednesday is when we are going to have the Tanner Barter special presentation premiering on YouTube, which should give us a whole bunch of details about the celebration. Hopefully we should get the full info for the Part 1 Dokkan Fest exclusive LR. Hopefully there'll be some other bits of information as well, but at the bare minimum we should hopefully see the unit. That will be Wednesday. Obviously neither version posting any news or teasers or anything today, so eyes are looking forward once again to the anniversary, because for Global, once this week is out of the way with the new content that comes out on Wednesday, there's a new Red Zone stage on Friday, and of course the World Tournament. That basically takes us through to the end of June, and we will then be going into the countdown celebration for the anniversary. So a little bit before that starts, I'll go over in more detail all the stuff that's going to be included in that. But today I want to talk a little bit about Part 1 of the anniversary, because obviously we are not super far away from this starting now. And this is all going to be very exciting stuff for Global. We talk about this all the time, right? How Global having to wait 6 months for the anniversary. It's still the only event in the game that has this long of a wait, right? Back in the day when I was first playing this game, everything was pretty much exactly 6 months behind JP all the time. And now not only do banners and stuff, units and events come out a lot quicker, we get quality of life updates sometimes within literally a couple of weeks. Things have really advanced in how quickly things will be coming out, and obviously with the sync, ideally all of that goes away anyway, but the anniversary has remained the final thing that we have to wait such a long time to get. And for a lot of people the hype dies down a little bit, but I've said this many times before. I know there are people that agree with me, have told me as much, but like once the countdown starts and we start getting those daily login like wallpaper things where it's like 6 days to go, 5 days to go, that's when the hype starts to come back. Because the anniversary, like great units, great EZAs, fun events, all sorts of, like this anniversary, the 9th anniversary, was probably one of the best celebrations that Dokkan has ever done. So very, very exciting for this to actually finally come to Global. So we're going to take a quick look here at all the stuff that we can be expecting in Part 1. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are on the road to 30k subs. I really want to try and hit 30k by the end of the anniversary. So do subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned for news and events and all that good stuff. Everything Dokkan here on this channel. And let's go ahead and jump straight in. So obviously we get the normal like login bonus and missions and stuff like that. Missions will be giving you stones, tickets, the anniversary coins, so you can buy a bunch of stuff from the shop, like old login cards, Kais, orbs, all that kind of stuff. So tons of missions, tons of things to be doing like daily on the game once these missions come into play, and these all kick off on the first day as soon as everything starts. Then of course we have the two main Part 1 banners. The anniversary, of course, going back to the Dokkan Fest and then Carnival format. So we get Dokkan Fest LR Broly and then Carnival LR Super Gogeta. I have done a separate video already talking about all of the banners for the anniversary, so do go check that out if you want a little bit more information on the Broly and Gogeta banners and the full lineup, as well as we've done videos talking about the different tickets and stuff like that for that banner. I am going to do a video going over all of the tickets that will be available during the anniversary and what each one is for. That'll be an upcoming video, so keep an eye out for that one. Obviously a new stage gets added to the Broly Dokkan event, because Broly needs his own medals, being the Dokkan Fest exclusive, whereas Gogeta being a Carnival LR awakens with medals that already exist in the game. Then we get the Dokkan Awakening support campaign. So it's nice that they've been doing this now for all big releases. This basically just means if you beat a bunch of missions while doing Broly's event, you will get a bunch of extra missions, including some of the ones that he needs to go from SSR to T. Actually, I think from SSR to TUR for the new LRs, it's only their own medals usually, and then LR requires older medals from other events and then the new medals as well. But these missions will drop with the event, so make sure you check them out. I'm sure we'll talk about them in a video or at least on the streams, but make sure you check these out before you jump in. because a lot of the times you can get your first run done on the new event and beat pretty much all the missions in one go, which then gives you a ton of the medals straight away to get to Awakening Broly and being on your way to using him. So then we have the arrival of the ticket banner. This obviously was a banner we talked about in that video I mentioned, going over all the banners. These are the ones that we've been able to get a bunch of tickets for already from all of the missions that have been available for the last couple of weeks. Hopefully you guys have been logging in and doing those. I think in terms of the only one that is not finished currently is the one for total daily logins. But if you've been logging in every day, I'm just looking at mine now, and mine is at 24 out of 25. So if you've been logging in every day since it started, that mission will finish tomorrow. And then you'll be able to have all of the tickets that were available, which is 80 in total, as long as you've been doing the weekly missions. So you should have 72 now if you've done all the other missions. And then once the login one is complete, that'll be 80 tickets. That's going to give you 8 multis on this banner. Some of the featured units are all right, but it's got all the yellow coin LRs up until, I think it might have the Ribrianne trio. It won't have Ginyu in it, but who knows, free LRs potentially, why not? So free tickets, that banner comes out right away with the start of the anniversary as well. Then the coin exchange, as we say, the anniversary coins, Hercule statues, orbs, support items, all this kind of stuff. Older login bonus cards you can get as well. Of course, there's the base physical Gogeta that everybody gets for free as the login as well. He's okay. He does get an easy A during the anniversary as well. I'll do a video talking more about all the units in detail separately in another video, but the login cards, obviously they're never meant to be super good top tier or anything, but he can be usable for, like, you know, in terms of how free to play units go. Then of course there will be a redstone. Redstone's more important than ever now, what with Super Easy A's being a thing and a lot of the Super Easy A units being available with the redstone, so that's very good. And then of course we have the premium Super Select stones. These are the purple ones that you only get from buying the stone packs, but they give you certain packs with LRs, and you can see here featured on the banner advertisement art is the physical Kaioken and Blue Evolution, who get an Easy A during the anniversary and become incredibly good. So they're a really good option for those purple stones. STR-UI Goku's on there, who gets his Easy A during the countdown celebration. So there's a couple of units in here that will definitely be worth looking at if you're somebody who spends and you buy those stone packs. They usually are the most expensive of the packs, and you get somewhere around 100 stones usually, and then the purple stones as well. So they're a bit on the pricier side, but if you are someone who spends and are picking up the sales, I know a lot of people set aside a bit of money and the anniversary is the only time they spend, so those can be fairly worthwhile depending on certain units that you might want to get. Then of course stone sales, they don't list all the details here, but like the stone sales for the anniversary are pretty much always the best ones, so there's always tons of stones available. The SNS campaign, if we do get this for global as well, this is just the thing where like this button appears on the home screen and you click it and then click on like either the Twitter icon or something else, right, to make a tweet, and then you don't actually have to even make the tweet. You can just back to the game and the game just counts as you having done it and gives you a reward, which I think is only 1 stone, but 3 stone per day while the celebration is on, so why not. Then we get the story events. So we've got the 2 story events here. Often we've gotten 2 free-to-play events, like I think was it the 6th anniversary was the one where we got like Goku and Chi-Chi and Vegeta and Bulma. Sometimes it is only the 1, and then there's the LR, right? So we get the Beerus event, the Super Warrior Memorial Goku and the God of Destruction. So as you can see here, we start off with, I think it's only is it only 2 stages? Because we can farm the unit. Actually, I think, can he be awakened into a TUR? I should have checked the dates for all of his forms. But as always with these anniversary units, they can't be fully awakened straight away. So we start off with the SSR. I think it is only the first couple of stages. I think you might be able to TUR him straight away. But you can farm up the Beerus. You're going to want to farm 2 SA10 copies and an SA5 copy ready for when he's finally awakened. Awaken them all into TUR with the medals, and then when the stage eventually drops later in the anniversary, awaken them all into LR. That you can then of course put the 2 SA10 ones together to have your SA20, and then have the SA5 one ready for when he does eventually get an Easy A, and he will end up becoming this guy right here. So funny how we can't get the differently named Fusion Zamasu, but Beerus, once he's put on his pajamas, becomes a different named character apparently. But he's a pretty solid free-to-play character. He starts off with, it's almost like he's in a standby straight away. He can't attack from the beginning, but he has 200% defense and 50% damage reduction. Every turn that passes, he loses some damage reduction. And then he gives all allies attack 40% during his turn, additional attack 10% up to 30% at the start of each turn, changes physical key spheres to rainbow, and then gets an additional 50% defense per key sphere obtained. So it's kind of like when the Boo Duo go into their standby, just a defensive unit. If you pick up a lot of orbs, then obviously he's got pretty high defense as well as having the damage reduction. In terms of his first turn, very, very tanky. When he appears on his second turn, he's only going to have 30% damage reduction and then 10%. But once he gets to the turn 5 from the start of battle, so pretty much always going to be turn 5, which is good regardless of his rotation. If he starts on turn 2, then obviously it's going to be turn 6 that you get to use it. If he starts in slot 7, he'll have 50% damage reduction. If you then keep him on rotation, because he'll be on turn 3, he'd come back on turn 5, so he'd only be down to 30%, and then you can still use this, right? So you use his active skill, which is a target ability, because remember, the free-to-play LR from the Anniversary always has the new Anniversary mechanic, which is the target ability. So he awakens from slumber, and all attacks are targeted onto him. So basically, once he awakens, he then has the ability to attack. He's greatly raising attack and raise defense for 1 turn on his 18 key super, mega colossal damage and greatly lowers attack. He raises attack for 1 turn and seals on his 12 key. It's got 3 key, 200% stats, additional 3 key and damage reduction of 50% for 1 turn on this first turn. So he's got all the attacks targeted towards him, 50% damage reduction. He gets 1 key up to 7, 11% attack up to 77 with each attack received, so 7 attacks. Additional attack and defense 100% with 3 or more orbs obtained. Reduced damage received by 30% with 5 or more orbs obtained. And then a high chance to crit starting from the turn in which he receives the 7th attack, so that full build up. Now bear in mind, you're using him, like the turn where he transforms, he will have appeared on the turn as this guy. So he's already created some orbs for himself. And then once you're in this mode, you've targeted all the attacks onto yourself. As long as you're getting 5 orbs, he's getting the extra 100% defense and then has 80% damage reduction on that first turn, because he has the 50% and then 30% from 5 orbs. From that point onwards, you're obviously going to want to make sure you're getting the 5 orbs, so he at least has the 30% damage reduction. He can be a bit of a liability after that first transformation turn, because he will only have 30% damage reduction, so it's not like he's going to be a crazy slot 1 unit. But for a free-to-play LR for the Anniversary, he definitely can be a very solid unit. So this guy, ability to farm his SSR comes out with the start of the Anniversary. Make sure you get all the copies done, so you're not rushing to, like, when they release the new stages, then you have to farm all the previous extra copies. But yeah, this guy can be pretty good. And then the Frieza event has the free Int Frieza. Again, we'll get the first couple of stages, and then later on in the celebration we get the medals to awaken him into a TUR. His SSR is definitely not anything impressive. His SSR realistically isn't that crazy either. He does get an easy A during the Anniversary as well. He's a free-to-play Super Bosses leader. He greatly raises attack and defense on Super. He's got key to attack and defense 100%. He gets an additional 25% attack and defense with each attack performed up to 100. He supports Super Boss's allies for key and defense. Gets an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super if HP is 50% or more. Gets a guaranteed additional super when there's 2 or more enemies. And then he gets an additional 50% attack and defense and a scouter when there's a Pure Saiyans or Movie Heroes enemy. Which is pretty good, because a lot of the new events in the Anniversary, in fact most of the new events where you're fighting against a superclass boss, which is a lot of them, they are either a Pure Saiyan or a Movie Heroes character. Of course, he's not necessarily good enough to be used against some of the tougher events from the Anniversary, especially towards the end, but he can be a cool little free-to-play card for these, like a Super Bosses build, giving a bit of support and doing some of the easier events, you know, a little bit better than the harder ones. But you know, these free-to-play Anniversary cards, they never really live super long in terms of relevancy, but it is what it is. So then we have this Broly event, the Intense Survival Competition. So this is basically the event that we get these with big celebrations a lot, where it's basically a daily stage that you can do once that gives you EX skill orbs that are for a specific category, and they are for super bosses. So that's going to give you the ability to get skill orbs for Broly, the Golden Frieza that is his banner unit, whole bunch of other stuff, right? Even the existing characters like Rose, missions for clearing it a bunch of times. Obviously obviously you're not going to be able to complete these until like 25 days after it starts, but you get some decent gold and silver skill orbs for free that are of course for the movie bosses characters. So then after that we have the new hit event. So this one's interesting. Conquer the Assassin's Territory. So this is kind of an event that they introduced to really show off like the application of domain abilities, because he has a special ability, the Territory skill, that can be cancelled out by using a domain from one of your characters. It's not a particularly hard event, it's just kind of like an introduction to the new ability. You can't use items, continues, or support memories, and then there's a bunch of missions just for clearing it once and clearing it within a certain number of turns. So doing all of these, you get 15 stones and a bunch of Kais. It's not super difficult, especially if you are getting the new anniversary units and building those crazy teams. But yeah, nice little fun event just to get some extra stones. Then of course we have the big one, the new stage of Boss Rush. No, of course it's the ultimate battle spectacle, or what people were referring to as the Blue Zone, because that's what people wanted it to be called, right? When the Red Zone came out and was getting all its new stages and everything, people were saying, oh, the super class version should be called the Blue Zone, and that's basically what this is, right? So just like the Red Zone, stages will release over time during the anniversary. We start off with 3, I believe, which is the Super Saiyan God Goku. So he goes base, Super Saiyan God, and then into the Super Saiyan transformation, like the physical unit. Then we have Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. So you start off fighting Goku and then Vegeta, basically Battle of Gods, and then into Resurrection of F. And then stage 3 is versus it's technically just Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, because it's that AGL one that is technically Kaioken Goku, but the game just has him as Blue Goku. This is one of those ones like the STR Vegito from the Dismal Future thing, where it's only one phase. He can hit quite hard straight away, and I'm pretty sure he can double super, but he can be attack lowered. So that's the trick for beating him. He is int, and then yeah, it's just the one phase. So give him a load of attack lowering straight away, and the stage can be pretty straightforward. The other two, obviously, just like with the Red Zone, the 3 stages that release straight away are not like overly difficult, but certainly a bit of fun. And then as we get into the anniversary, we get the Blue Evolution Vegeta and we get the Trunks, Blue Evolution Vegeta, Ultra Instinct Goku, and then the final stages are Gogeta and Beast Gohan. This stage 7 versus Gogeta, who ends up as STR Blue Gogeta. A lot of people on the JP side consider this to be the hardest event in the game, or at least one of the hardest events in the game. This AGL Gogeta can Tech Gogeta in the 4th phase can double super. The STR one has an AoE and supers for a ridiculous amount of damage. He is very, very strong, so very tough event. We'll see how we get on with those. Beast Gohan is the final one, of course, with the 3 phases. He has the ability to nullify Ki Blast supers in the 2nd phase, which is kind of scary. So you got to be careful about your team building. There's a bunch of missions, as with the Red Zone, just for beating the stages. And then as they add the later stages, right, we've got like beating them with certain categories. There's the all extreme types. And then if you clear all the stages, we get the superhero support memory of the Demise of Gamma 2, which is a superhero's permanent buff active skill. So that is the the Battle Spectacle, aka the Blue Zone. 3 stages will come out straight away in part 1, and more stages will release as the event goes on. So then, yeah, new boss rush, Extreme Z battles open. The final stages of Movie Bosses Red Zone 2 come out at the very beginning of the anniversary. So we're going to get the Hirudegarn stage on Global on Friday, and then when the anniversary starts, we get Golden Frieza and Beerus. I'll do a video talking about those, and obviously we'll do those when they come out as well. Special Anniversary Battlefield, where all the enemies are themed around the Battlefield, the anniversary theme. This will be the first time for a lot of people. This is when Battlefield resets after the release of the Dabura and Babidi LR EZA, so I'll finally be able to get all the medals to EZA them. And then we have a bunch of EZAs to end out part 1 as well. So we have the Broly Trio EZA, and then these EZAs return because there are the couple of EZAs, Int, Broly and Paragus, and STR, Bardock and Guinea, that require, they're just sub-EZAs, so they need the medals from these Extreme Z events. So they can be pre-farmed already. I will do a separate video going over all the stuff you can pre-farm for like super attacks and medals and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that one. But the Broly Trio EZA, these guys become a super good unit. I would say almost like a must-run unit on the Super Bosses team, because they are a Big Bad Bosses character. They get a guaranteed additional super, and give movie bosses or super bosses allies damage reduction when they have their 24 key, which is quite easy to get. They get 2 extra key per key sphere obtained. They give allies 2 key anyway, as long as they're getting AGL or STR, or well, actually basically any orbs. Any orbs other than physical, they give all allies 2 key, which includes them, right? And then rainbow orbs, they give all allies 2 key and attack and defense 15%. So if you're getting the rainbow orbs and something else, then obviously they're going to be getting a ton of support and a ton of key themselves as well. And of course they have guaranteed dodge when you get 7 orbs. Now they create physical orbs when HP is 60% or less, and they change all orbs to physical when HP is 39% or less once only, which is pretty crazy. Now with other orb changes on the Super Bosses team now, like the physical Goku Black Super Easy A, these guys become incredibly good. Minato was saying he likes to run a rotation of these guys in slot 1 and physical Goku Black in slot 2, because they're going to pick up Big Bad Bosses, Fierce Battle. I think that's it for those 2, which these guys, it doesn't really matter. They are going to dodge because they're going to get 7 orbs. They can hit relatively hard, and then Goku Black's going to get extra links from whoever you're running in slot 3 because of all the other Zamasus and Goku Blacks like Physical Rose that you're using on the Super Bosses team. So these guys really, really good. Obviously, we'll do a team building guide for them like just before the event actually comes out. It doesn't drop like right at the start of the anniversary. It was like after the first week, I believe. But yeah, that is part 1 of the anniversary. So tons of events coming out. Typical anniversary fashion, a lot of the events come out, and obviously not all the stages are available straight away, but tons of stuff to do, tons of missions. That is the preview for part 1 of the anniversary. The anniversary technically starts on the 7th, which is the actual date that Global released. That's the actual, like, you know, global birthday, if you will. The anniversary is the 7th of July. But the 7th of July is a Sunday, so it's very likely the banners are not going to come out until the 8th, which is the Monday. So this has happened a lot of times in the past. It happened with the 7th anniversary, where the anniversary celebration officially starts, but the banners don't come out until the next day. But all the story events and stuff like that will all be out. So you can start farming the free-to-play units, start doing the missions, the first few phases of like the blue zone and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Are you excited for the anniversary? Are you still kind of waiting for that anniversary hype to creep back in? Or are you already there, poised and ready for the countdown celebration? Which, like I say, we'll do a video going over that in more detail, probably as the World Tournament comes to an end and the countdown celebration is about to begin. But let me know all your thoughts about the anniversary down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.